Welcome everyone's to another Thursday show of Smitty Snippets. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us. We got a pretty good show tonight. Tonight we're going to be talking about Duster, The Last of Us 2, the finale, which was crazy, and Mobland. I'd like to introduce you to the crew. Say hello, crew.
Hello, everybody.
Hey guys.
Okay. Good to see you guys again. Everybody good?
Great.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Fantastic. You guys sound excited to be here. Glad to see
You better stop.
you. Okay, so good to see you guys, and can't wait to start the show. Chris, why don't you lead us off? You got any anything you want to say before we start the show?
No, just chilling.
Okay, listen,
Yeah,
we have been doing this for a minute. Okay, we have not gotten this intro right yet. I've
I
either stuttered or
know.
forgotten
I
shit,
know.
or you just don't talk. So we gonna get
Well,
this
you
right.
don't want me
Okay,
to say I'm back, baby, so I don't know what you
I
want
mean you
from
can say
me.
that. You know what I'm
I
saying? It's just
mean,
we just sitting here
I
looking at each other
try.
like. So it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. All right, so start us off, Chris. We'll get it right next week.
Hopefully. In tonight's news, we're gonna start with Ryan Reynolds. He has pitched a R-rated Star Wars. The actor revealed in an episode of the Box Office podcast that he pitched the idea of a R-rated Star Wars to Disney. Quote, I pitched to Disney. I said, why don't we do an R-rated Star Wars property? It doesn't have to be overt A+ characters. There's a wide range of characters you could use, and I don't mean R-rated to be vulgar. R-rated as a Trojan horse for emotion. I always wonder why studios don't want to just gamble on something like that. Unquote. While the actor is keen on the idea, he clarified that he did not want to star in the possible future film or TV show because, quote, that would be a bad fit. Instead, he'd like to sign on as a producer or writer. So what do either one of you, Smitty, we'll start with you, think of that quickly?
Um, no, no, no. Star Wars it's a I take that back. It's fine. I mean, it's always been like a family thing,
Mm-hmm.
for kids to go and want to pretend to be Jedi or smugglers or something like that. And you just got them coming on screen, cutting folks in half and cursing with blood spilling out and stuff. That just ain't gonna feel right. That ain't gonna feel right at all. That ain't gonna be right. They're gonna be like, the kid's gonna be screaming, "Mommy!" This is not Star Wars. We don't want that. We like kids dreaming and stuff. Not all this
Oh,
mess.
all right. All right. Casanova.
I don't need to see Han Solo saying, "Yo, f this Chewie, let's go fuck it up." I don't need that necessarily, but at the same
Man.
time, if you wanted to do something in that universe that was more, say, violent or visceral, it was like I kind of probably would be here for it. It was like my
Mm-hmm.
my thing with Star Wars at this point is I want to see different stuff. That was like I
Right.
want to
Mm-hmm.
see different stories, take some risks, do some
Mm-hmm.
outside the box stuff. It was like, and it's like I'll give it a shot. It was like some stuff will go down great, other stuff I might not like, but it's like I hear where Ryan Reynolds is coming from. It's just like you got all of these properties. You're either going to continue doing more of the same and not doing that well, or
Mm-hmm.
play somewhere else in that universe and just try something different. So I'm all for trying something different.
All right. All right.
So yeah, they bring it on.
Okay.
I don't need Luke leaving a brothel or nothing like
Oh
that. But at the same
my
No,
time, it was
goodness.
like you. But I mean, it's like that's what most people will think. It was like you say he pitched an R-rated thing. It was like I don't need to see Luke do this. I don't need to see Leia doing this, and that's why he said something like we don't have to use A+ characters. You can use Bob, the bantha herder, and have him have an adventure, and it could be R-rated with some nonsense like that, and that's fine to me. It was like even if like you talk about in that period and something about the Rebel Alliance is on the news or something, you can like, oh, okay, that's the time period that it took place in. That's all right. But it's like I'll be
Okay.
here for it.
All right, go
Real
ahead,
quick before
Smitty.
we go any further, I want to acknowledge Saggy Star who sent us $5. Saggy, you are
You're much
always
appreciated.
been there.
Thank you
You
so
are my number
much.
one, Saggy.
Thank
Even
you,
if
Saggy.
even if this thing is not setting you up to be the number one, you're amazing. I don't know how to put anything by anybody's name. Okay, so it ain't me doing it. All right, everybody, the regulars, Nina, Saggy, you guys are all awesome. I love
You
all you
guys are.
guys, man. You
Absolutely.
guys been rocking with us since the beginning, so
Yep.
don't feel left out because Smitty didn't do it. All right, so
Yeah,
what you got?
it's a whole like
It,
community leaderboard now or something like that.
yeah.
I was like, I don't know, like it's just in the chat. It was like, oh, you get
Yeah.
experience points now, I guess. It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
I don't know. All right. Well, amazing. Thank you guys again. Like Smitty said, for all of you who come back and rock with us week after week. We really appreciate it, Saggy. We definitely appreciate the $5. So thank y'all so much for everything that you guys do for us. All right, so Last of Us season 2 finale, which we will talk about here, but season 2 of The Last of Us concluded Sunday night with an audience of 3.7 million cross-platform viewers in the US as per HBO. The Last of Us has seen an influx of viewership to the series, exceeding 90 million total viewers since season 1 ended. So far, the series has yet to surpass the audience record set by season 1 finale, which was 8.2 million. The viewership declined, and it's not entirely without precedent. The Last of Us Part 2 video game was quite a bit more controversial than its predecessor, making some bold narrative choices that continue to spark debate and elicit strong opinions nearly 5 years after its release. Season 2 of the HBO series adapts the first half of the second game and is similarly drawn mixed reactions. So, I know Fromaholic Fletch said that he is not into the series. And I
Yeah,
don't know if it's because now you guys say it tracks closely to the game. It sounds like maybe from his experience, maybe it kind of, I don't know. He's
it
expecting.
it does it does track real close to the game, but you can't have a show like the game, right? Because there's all this dead time, like where you're actually playing the game and you get like a 2 minute cutscene, right? And then you're
Right.
back to playing the game again. So you can't have a show like that. So
Hmm.
they have to fill some of that. So you get more of an explanation with I forget who was the father of the of what's her name's baby? This is Kevin?
Oh,
What's her name?
Jesse. Jesse.
Jesse. Jesse. So you get more time with Jesse. You didn't get all that time with Jesse in the game. You
Hmm.
got a little bit, but you didn't get all that. So yeah, I mean a lot of people are pissed off. I don't know why, honestly. I honestly don't know why. Castor, what do you
Hmm.
think, man?
it was the same. Like I thought the controversy around the game itself was nonsense. Like people freaked out after you got to that part with Joel, and he got clubbed. There was like folks all of a sudden like just looking at stuff on like YouTube and reading other stuff during that time. People were done. It's like I won't play it no more. I won't refuse it, and that was just from the connections they had. So folks had a visceral reaction to a lot of the stuff. I think
Hmm.
this is along the same lines. After Joel had, it's like Joel was killed in the second episode. There was like I
Hmm.
think a lot of folks felt that he was gonna be, or that had played the game, thought that he was gonna be in here longer. I think folks that played the game thought they might have told the story different and dragged it out or somehow changed something so to fit the narrative better, that they would have liked
It's
it
on
that he
you.
lived. So it's like that's on them at that point. There's like, most of these people watch Game of Thrones,
Hmm.
so you knew nobody was safe there. So this happening here should not have been that big of a shock. So it's like I don't know what. a lot of times like people want because it wasn't what they built up either in their head or everything else. It's like I get if the show say it's too violent for you or some other stuff, but it's like we'll get to some of the stuff on The Last of Us later. But their ratings dropping now. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
to me it does. It's like I couldn't pinpoint it. That was like everybody that I've talked to so far, from folks that have played the game or hadn't played it, have liked it
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
have really enjoyed the show. So like other folks that are just dropping it. It was like I couldn't say it. Like I would be curious too. You dropped it. If you picked up another show, what else are you watching?
Yeah. Okay. Um. Well, we got a few more stories. Tom Cruise and Christopher McQuarrie continue together. McQuarrie told Josh Horowitz of cracking the script for Top Gun 3 in a new episode of his Happy, Sad, Confused podcast. When asked if he would step into a director role for the film, he replied, quote, I have given that absolutely no thought whatsoever.
Good.
However, I have done a lot of research into how to make a Tony Scott movie. Joseph Kosinski helmed Maverick from a script co-written by McQuarrie with an original directed by the late Tony Scott, which is why he referenced him. McQuarrie also provided updates on a potential Tropic Thunder spinoff for Cruise's foul-mouthed studio executive character, Les Grossman, an idea the dynamic duo has been floating around since 2022. He and Cruise are in a brainstorming stage of sorts, saying they would often, quote, play with scenes in their downtime amid filming Final Reckoning. So is anybody interested in a TG3 or Smitty, we'll start with you.
No,
That
no,
was fast.
no. Stop. Okay, just enough. Just start
Okay.
something else. Call it something else. Call it wings or call it airplane,
Okay.
Jetfire or something. Make up a new name. You don't have to.
Oh,
You don't
okay.
have to keep continuing stuff going on. Right? Maverick's story is done. Right? He's
Right.
done. Okay.
Right.
Don't nobody want to see a 65-year-old pilot named Maverick.
Well, he doesn't
Just
have to be the pilot. He could be the instructor or
no. He could be
something.
nothing. He could be
Okay.
He
nothing.
was the
Right?
instructor this last time. He gonna be in a
Right.
plane.
Just
Okay.
It
just
was like,
stop.
oh, is there a F? Is there a Tomcat F-25? I'm flying that. Put me in that
Whatever.
plane.
You got everything that you wanted out of that character, right? He came back. He taught students the mission was amazing.
Hmm.
For nostalgic purposes, he got back in the F-14 Tomcat, which was my favorite plane, and he did his thing. Like he did it. There's nothing else for him to do. He got his girl. He has enough money to apparently to buy an old airplane, so he's clearly paid and rich, right? He don't need nothing. His best friend is dead, right? His best friend is done, right? He couldn't talk. He
Stop.
had some, he was done.
Dang.
I'm just saying, you know.
A little close
So
to home, buddy. All right, we're gonna move on quickly. Mm-mm. Tania Miller
I
cast
will
him.
say,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I
Go
will
ahead.
say that if they do a Les Grossman movie, I'm here for that. That was like
Okay.
if you want to
so
revisit, if you want to revisit Tropic Thunder and the character that Tom Cruise played in that, I'm here for that.
Hmm. Oh, okay. All right. So he's down for that, guys. Whoever might be watching and that's in a position to make that happen. Tania Miller cast a Marvel series for Disney Plus. Tania Miller is set for a major role in Marvel's upcoming series on Disney Plus called Vision or Vision Quest. Disney has called it both. Sources confirm to Deadline she is believed to be playing one of the leads opposite Paul Bettany, who is reprising his MCU character role in the WandaVision spinoff. Miller is said to be playing the cunning and powerful Jocasta, who is driven by revenge. In the comic books, Jocasta is a robot Ultron um, built to builds to be his wife, who eventually sides with the Avengers. Miller is believed to be part of Vision's main cast alongside Bettany and James Spader, who reprises his MC role as Ultron. Now, Miller is known for her series regular roles in Mike Flanagan's The Haunting of Bly Manor and The Fall of the House of Usher, both on Netflix, and her recurring stint in Apple TV's Foundation. As an aside, she also played in The Peripheral, which was canceled after the first season. I thought it was an amazing show. If you're interested, it's on Amazon, but that's just as I said, an aside if you were interested. Um, anything from the gallery on that? Are you
Uh,
interested in a Vision or Vision Quest?
I mean, yeah,
Yeah, I'll
they
watch it.
bring it back.
It was
Go
like
ahead.
I'm here for it. It was like it was like you got that. You bring James Spader back as Ultron, and he was fine as Ultron. Like just to see what they do with like I'm curious on how he's brought back. What you do with the Jocasta character and Vision, who else they cast in the show. It's like I'll be here for it as long as the trailer and the overall story sounds super interesting or seems to keep this pace. So it's like I would expect it, I would hope for it, like everything else, to just be good. But I was like, yeah, I was like, I'm interested in it for right now.
Okay. What about you, Smitty?
Um, let me know if my volume is too low or too high, or y'all let me know. Um, yeah, I'd be interested in that. James Spader is probably one of my favorite actors. I've liked him since what was he in? He was in Stargate, and he was in a he was a lawyer in another show, which was a really really good show. He's a phenomenal actor, so I really enjoyed him as being Ultron.
Hmm.
So yeah, I would look forward to that.
Okay. It does sound you do sound a little low to me, Smitty.
I'm still
Casanova
low. Everything is turned up. Everything is
is
maxed out.
is he low to you, Casanova? Guys, if you can
It's
quickly
maxed out.
just
How's that?
tell us if he's low or high. It could just be me, but you sound low to me. If you guys in the chat can tell us if he's high or low. All right, but we will move on. It's the last two. Avengers sequel delayed. Marvel had previously slated the two Avengers sequels, Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, for May 1, 26 and May 7, 27, respectively. Both films have been pushed back from the summer to the holiday season. Their new dates are now December 18, 26 and December 17, 27, again, respectively. Um, the only other upcoming MCU movie with a confirmed release date at this time, besides the two Avengers films, is Spider Man Brand New Day. That is currently scheduled for July 31, 26. So,
I think the
Sorry, my
delays
son
could be
is
good.
my son. You want to come over here and say hi real quick? My son is say hi. Say hi to the people.
hey,
It's my son Cole. You want to wave? All
hey,
right.
Cole.
All right. Now get on.
Good night, Cole.
Hey
Go
boy.
ahead, Casanova.
All right. I love you.
It's like I think the delays could be good. I mean, it was like I would look at that as a couple of different things. One, to make sure that the story is on point because like I know they started production on it, but I think they are like hopefully they're not writing the scripts as they go, which has gotten them in trouble in the past. And then
Mhm.
also I feel that this will give them time to make sure their special effects are right because sometimes their effects have been a little bit wonky. So it gives them enough, and I think they're filming these back to back anyway. So it'll give them time to edit and do all of what the stuff they need to do. So I don't think this is a bad thing for the delay for those two movies.
Mhm.
But for Spider-Man, depending on what that story was, because that was supposed to be a bridge between the two, and
Okay.
now this one's coming out first. I don't know how much of that they're gonna have to rejigger to fit in with some of this other stuff.
Okay.
So like that was for me, that one is more the question. But other than that, it's like, it's like these delays, I'm fine.
And what do you think, Smitty?
Yeah. Um. I'm. I'm. I'm excited to see these. What were we talking about?
Oh my goodness.
The Avengers movie delays.
Jeez.
My bad.
Like I
My
do this
son
for
broke
my
my
health.
concentration. My son broke my concentration.
Lord.
Yeah, I'm all for I'm all for the delay. I mean, take your time, get it right. You know, better
Yeah,
than rushing to have a piece of crap come out and
right.
everybody boo you for it because you didn't because you rushed it. You know, take your time, get it right. Make sure you do everything. I mean, don't take time like what's the name of that? What's the name of that vampire? Wesley Snipes vampire. Was it Blade? Don't take Blade kind of
Blade.
time. Don't do
Yeah,
that. Just take your time and make a good movie. So yeah, I'm all
Hmm.
for it.
because that's ridiculous. I was like, that was a no-brainer to be able to create a movie just with Blade killing some vampires and build a story around that. It
Yeah,
was
story
like
writes
they were
itself.
acting
Make
like they
make it go.
couldn't do nothing with that.
Okay. All right. Well, um, we will move on to the last item, and then we'll move on to the shows that we have to review this week. The last
How's my
item is
hang on? How's my sound? So I don't want to blow anybody's eardrums out, and I don't want to be low.
I don't think anybody responded about your
You do
sound.
sound a little. You do sound a little bit
A
lower
little
than
low.
normal to me, but
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Still a little lower than normal. All
All
right.
right. All right. Um, the last item that we're going to talk about is short and sweet. Um, Karate Kid Legends. If anybody's interested, that comes out tomorrow. It's starring Jackie Chan as Mr. Han, Ralph Macchio, Ben Wong, and Joshua Jackson. If anybody happens to be interested, it's got I think it's a 6.6 rating. So I don't know. And I haven't actually seen a lot of promoting for this particular movie. I don't remember seeing it when we went to the movies this weekend. So what's funny?
Well, one is like they've been promoting this movie super heavy, so I don't know where you've been
I
looking,
haven't
but
seen
I've
it.
seen it.
I
Yeah,
haven't
it's
seen
like I've seen a lot of promotion for this movie, and it's like folks that have enjoyed this series and everything else. It was like God bless all you, but for me, this is a movie that's made for Paramount Plus or HBO. It's like I'm not going to the
Oh,
theater to see this.
oh no.
It's like I'm not. It's like I'm not going. It's like I love Jackie Chan. I do, but I'm not going to movies to see this.
Oh,
It's like I'm not. So
okay.
like, I would go to the movies to see this if it's still playing in the theaters in August. And I was like, wow, this movie has got some legs to it. This still running and people going to see this. Then I might go check it out. But as
Dang.
I think that this will,
Jackie Chan gotta
you
wait
know,
all the way till
at
August for
least
you to go to see it.
to buy a ticket to see it? Yes.
That's not gonna
Because it's like
happen.
already, it's like, like unless something's happened where somebody, kind of spoiled the end to it's like, oh, he gets to the championship tournament and somebody beats the hell out of this kid and he loses in spectacular fashion in front of his mom. His grandmom disowns him. It was crazy. Then maybe I'll go check it out. But other than that, I'm assuming whatever bully he's fighting, he's going to beat, and it's going to be the same old feel good stuff. So unless Ralph Macchio get kicked off a roof or something like that, I'm not gonna go see this one.
All right. Quickly, Smitty, what do you have about it?
I've seen it. I've seen it.
No.
I've seen it. I've seen it three, probably four times already. Right? I've seen it. I've already
Right.
seen it. Let me guess. Let me guess what happens. He gets his ass beat by some other
No.
kid, right? Some group
No.
that he doesn't fit in, right? He doesn't fit in. He goes home and complains about it, and his mom or sensei or father or uncle or some shit is like, "Listen, let's just go get you an afternoon job." And they set him up, and he learns some stuff, right? And he starts doing like crane kicks off rocks in the backyard, and then all of a sudden he gets entered into a tournament and he beats up his bully, and then all of a sudden there's credits and there's a song. That's the movie. That's how all of them went. That's how every single one of them went. It ain't gonna change. Ain't
It's like,
nothing gonna change.
and a matter of fact, it's like I'll tell you with the one with Will Smith's kid. The only thing I watched that late night on HBO and cracked up because when he was messing with that kid in the playground, and then Will Smith's son Jaden knocked that kid down, and that kid sprang back up like that concrete was made of rubber or a freaking trampoline, and then proceeded to beat him with an inch of his life on the freaking playground. I watched the rest of that movie because that was hilarious to me. So it's like with this other kid, it was like if something I see a clip of he's getting tore up from the floor up by somebody, it's like maybe I'll go check it out. That's a good comedy because I feel the original Karate Kid is one of the big greater American comedies there's been for the 80s. So yeah, right now
Okay.
I'm not
All
playing this.
right. My goodness. All right, let's move on
Exactly.
into the series. I think maybe excuse me, let's start with Last of Us. Smitty. So, what did you first? Before we very quickly make sure you guys take a minute to like, share, subscribe. We really appreciate you. Um, but what did you think of the season finale for The Last of Us?
It was good. Can you hear me? I'm good.
Yes,
Um, Ellie pissed me off.
yes.
So, um, she pissed me off a lot, especially when I guess they were dealing with that group came in and they captured one of the occultists, and she wanted to save him, but
Mm-hmm.
at the risk of putting was it Jesse?
Yeah,
What's his name?
Jesse. Mm-hmm.
Jermaine.
just
Yeah, at the risk
Jesse. So stupid.
at the risk of putting him in danger. So yeah, she was just willing to go out there and just do whatever she wanted to do. Just I'm going out here. I'm gonna take on 5 people. What you doing? Get your dumb ass back here. I promise to God, if I get killed messing around with you,
Right.
Ellie, I don't think she understands what is going on. I think that's the purpose of the show. They want to make it so that she's not getting it, right? She's so blinded by what she's chasing that she refuses to see the danger and the inherent danger
Mm,
in what it is she's doing and the people she's putting in danger. She put Jesse in danger. She clearly doesn't give a damn about his safety, like not at all.
head.
We about to run through this city and go make this happen. No, we're not. No, no.
Right.
I'm surprised we're not dead at this point,
Right.
right? So, um, yeah, I had some issues with this, um, but I feel like it's a lesson that Ellie needs to learn. It's not the same Ellie from the game, which I she doesn't have to be exact,
Right.
but I don't like this version of Ellie. I don't. If I'm being honest, I don't like this version of Ellie. So
I
it
like
doesn't
I
have
think
anything
that
to it doesn't
they.
have
Oh, I'm
anything to do
sorry,
with the
Chris. Go ahead.
actress.
no.
It
Go ahead,
doesn't have
Smith.
anything to do with the actress. It's just how Ellie is being portrayed that I
Right.
don't like. And I'll let you go, and then I'll break down what I mean in a minute after we get Casanova's
Go ahead,
thing.
Casanova.
So I think that like Smitty has a point. I think what they're doing with Ellie in the show is trying to keep her somewhat or balance or try and keep her somewhat likable in the show as far as like not making her look like the crazy psychopath kind of like she was in the game because if she killed people in the game, she didn't really have that much remorse. She killed folks and kept it moving. Where in the
Mm,
show, every time she kills somebody, she's looking like, "Oh my God, what have I done?" It's like for most of these
Yeah,
lives that she's taken. So I think they're trying to make her look more not necessarily sympathetic, but try and
mhm.
soften her character some, and then
Right.
trying to also make her more like a hero in some situations which don't make sense. Like Smitty's right. It's like I'm sitting with you, Ellie. There's like 7 guys over there with this one cultist, and you want to go fight these 7 guys. We're not coming out of that. What are you doing? It's like, what are you
Mhm.
like? You're not thinking now. So it's like that, and then having her vacillate between her obsession with Abby and doing some other stuff. So I
Mhm.
think some of the writing with her character is a little bit uneven, or they're trying too hard to keep her toeing the line where they should have just made her look like she was freaking down for the murder. I think that probably would have helped out more if you just pick a side and just left her go that way. So I agree with like, she just seems uneven. It was like her performance is good, but
Oh
the
yeah.
character
Mhm.
overall just seems like, hey, pick a side of the street, stay on it.
Yeah, I think um this episode kind of just dovetails into what I was trying to get across last week as it and maybe I was saying the wrong thing because I think I said last week it just seems like she doesn't care or that because she's has that immunity um she's not taking into account other people and how the now times are impacting them, right? But I think it's more I think I'll reclassify it as being selfish. Like I don't know how many times you need life to just say what you're doing is wrong. Like because she almost got killed like 3 times just trying to get to Abby, right? And then she ended up killing the young uh pregnant girl, accidentally.
That was
um
dark.
right, it's just I just feel like her ability to just set aside and block out everything else and just be so solely focused on her what we'll call revenge at this point is just. And you have so much to live for. You have so many things that are going on. I don't see how you're capable of just setting all that aside. Like you're talking about parenting this child with this young lady with Dina. I don't know. This episode vexed the hell out of me. I will say that. I will say that.
So I enjoyed this episode. Um, Another issue that upset me about Ellie is Ellie was acting like real like tough, right? She was like, "Oh, I'm going after." I mean, you saw her. It was like she almost turned the corner, right? When she was talking to her girl, and she was like, uh, what was the girl's name that she killed in the basement with the stick or the pole? You know what I'm talking about? She was infected.
Oh,
Oh
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know her name. I think
So
begins with an M.
she told her
Mhm.
as she was explaining it to her girlfriend, she was like, this is why he killed the
Mhm.
scientist Nora. Thank you, Lisa. This is
Thank
why he
you.
killed the scientist. He did this to protect me. And I'm like, okay, she got it. Right? But then she's like, I'm still going out there, still gonna go find Abby.
Right.
You just
And Dina.
explained, you went over every step as to
Mhm.
why you shouldn't be doing this, and you're still doing this. I
Mhm.
don't I don't understand. I don't get it.
And,
Um,
and Dina's response to that, like she just shut down to that.
well, it's because she didn't. Yeah, she didn't realize what she was doing
I
was.
know, but that's my
She
point.
thought it
Like,
was just a killing for no reason.
right, right, right. But she knew from before they left. So now you have me out here potentially in some serious danger. Me and my now I know unborn child with this, trying to help you get your vengeance that you seek because of what we thought was um an injustice that was done. Like you said, that they just, did whatever to him, to now find out that you've had this. So she basically did the same thing to her that Joel did to her. She literally did the same exact thing.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, I don't know. I mean, I understand that she kind of changed her mind when she shot the pregnant girl. Now, that happens in the game, but it's nowhere near as visceral as it is in this movie. Like she's
Hmm.
trying to convince her to cut the baby out,
Hmm.
and she
Oh
wants the
yeah,
baby to survive. And I was like,
yeah.
Jesus, man, this like
There
this
was
this
there wasn't none
hurts.
of that in the game because like what was
Yeah,
it? Ellie killed her with a knife in the game, and then realized, oh, it was like, oh, she's pregnant. All right then, and then just was ready to just get up and go. It was like it was really cold, but it was like you did not have that. Like I think the scene in the show played a little bit better,
yeah,
but than it did in the game. But it was like it was a different contrast of trying to soften Ellie a little bit. So, but I don't know if the ultimate purpose of that is until we get to like next season or something.
yeah. Her desperation
Okay.
and wanting her
Hmm.
baby to survive, like that was deep, and she's like, I'll
Yeah,
tell you what to do. I'll tell you how to cut it out, and she just, again, you see the look on Ellie's face, like she got it, like she understands now that she doesn't want to go forward with this. Yet she continues to march on, right? And she's telling Jesse, "Oh no, I gotta make this happen for uh for Joel. I gotta go do
Right,
this. I can't give up now, right? It's hard. Just I'm doing this, right? The
right.
second she got her ass off that John boat and onto that island, and they grabbed her, she was like, "No, no, please, no, No. Yes. Yes. What are you doing? Right? You can't cry now. You can't cry now. You can't do that. You cannot do that. So
But I
um
just I feel like there's such a contrast because you had her wanting to save the the cult kid, right? When Jesse was like trying to keep her to stay behind whatever thing that they were hiding behind. And she wanted to go out and try and save him. And then you had that interaction between the two when he was talking about community and she kind of dragged what he viewed as community, um as basically saying everybody has their own definition of it, right? But and that's fine, but I think what he was trying to say, which she apparently didn't get, is you are living with these people. You're going to eventually, with some of your actions, rain hell down on all of these people if you keep behaving in the manner in which you are. Everybody said that Joel has passed away, that Joel died, but everybody also sees the bigger picture, and that's what she's incapable of doing at this moment. She is not capable at all of seeing the larger picture.
I I agree.
Oh,
You gotta
okay.
start passing it off, man. You gotta start passing it off, or something like you done. So there are a couple points I wanted to make about the show, and a few of them that I liked a lot. Again, another point was where Ellie gets off the boat and she's hanging up, and then there's this huge fight that takes place on the island, which allows her to escape.
Hmm.
Also in the game, very well done. Only in the game you watch somebody be disemboweled right in front of your face. Clearly, they can't do that in real life, but it is there, and it's it is there, and it's a very good. That's another moment in this game or in this show that it's pivotal. Like it's that
You're talking
time.
about what when Ellie is on that island?
Yeah,
Yeah, because they swapped that because that was Abby in the game. But I kind of like them swapping and putting Ellie out there.
yeah.
It's like I did like
So
that.
and then she comes back from the island, and again she's trying to regroup. She's still thinking about whether or not she's doing the right thing, right?
Hmm.
She doesn't want to get her girlfriend killed. She doesn't want to see any of the people that she cares about die,
Hmm.
right? But at the same time, she cannot let this thing she has for Joel go, and
Hmm.
it's going to be the end of everyone if
Right.
she can't stop. So one of the two things has to go, and she feels like if she stops hunting the people that killed Joel, she's betraying him. And
Okay.
if
Yeah.
if she continues to go on and they die and her people die, the overwhelming guilt she would feel about that would just be ridiculous. So
Well, I
she's
think she
just caught
was
up in
ready
this
to
in
get.
this ridiculousness.
I was like, I think she was ready to give it up because when Tommy and Jesse came and got her, and they were talking about going back to Jackson Hole, it was like they asked her, it was like, hey, can you? She's like, Abby gets like was telling her about going back, and she's like, well, Abby gets to live, and it's like Tommy asked her, can you live with that? She was like, I'm
Hmm.
gonna have to. So I think she was ready to give her quest up until like Abby popped up in the
Wow.
theater.
Wow. 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 That
So
scene
yeah.
was insane. Do
Yep.
you, well,
So
before we get into that, do you honestly think that she would have just let it go? Like, you don't think in like a year's time or 2 years' time or whatever, she'd be like, let me go find that bitch.
I don't like. I think that if she could have walked away and they were all back to Jackson, Dina had the baby, and she had some time to chill out. I think she would have,
really,
she would have
you think
had those
so?
times on the porch with her homemade beer. Like,
You think?
you know what? I probably could have, but it's like I think she probably would have. Like, it was hurting her, but I think she probably could have pushed it back.
Paul's not.
It
Yeah,
was
you
like, but
think so?
now it was like, yeah, I think she could have pushed it back because she
Yeah,
was like, if she wasn't going to push it back with them, I think she would have argued with Tommy and Jesse more about that whole thing. But it's like, I think that after her whole thing with killing dude and the woman with the baby, at that point, she was like, yeah, I think I need to let this go.
yeah. Smitty's not convinced by your
So
argument, by the way.
Well,
it's like
because
that's
he
fine.
played.
It was like I think she would have. It was like I think she would have. Like I don't think she would have. They would have been walking back to Jackson, and she was like, "Yo, I'm going to check out the store for a pack of cigarettes." It was like, "Yo, y'all keep on going." It's like I catch up, and she would have turned around and went back the other way. It's like I think that she would have like gave up her quest for Abby for and been fine. But
Yeah.
All right,
Well, he
Smitty, go
that's
played
off
the
the
ahead.
game.
table now.
He played the game. He played the game. He know that's not true.
Okay.
If
All
he finished
right.
the game, and I know he finished the game, that's not true. None of that he just said is accurate. None of it.
No, I'm just
Not
saying. It
this
was
much
like
of it.
I think she would have. It was like if Jesse hadn't gotten popped, it was like I think that she would have because
Oh,
from
okay.
playing the
Yeah.
game, she was like they like from playing the game. It's like you can't say anything without going into spoilers. But for what
Right.
happened with that other stuff,
Hmm.
it was like there was something that convinced her to go back. To deal with all of the stuff and stuff later. But yeah, I think she would have went back and she would have just been mad.
All right. All right.
Yeah,
So
we might get right about that.
all right. So let's get into Jesse and the unfortunate event that happened to him after he had the entire conversation with Ellie about him trying to make sure that he gets home because he is about to be a father. He wants to get home safely because of that.
Y'all
So
go ahead. I'll be right back.
I cannot. This dude. He's so good. But while we're waiting for him, Casanova,
I can still hear
um,
you. I can talk. Okay.
Casanova, while we're waiting for him to come back, that scene where they hear Abby and was it just Abby? I don't think it was
Yeah, it
anyone
was
else
Abby.
but
It
her.
was Abby, Jack, and Tommy up. It was like Tommy went to. I'm gonna go prep the
Right.
bag so we can get out of here.
Okay,
And
so
Abby boxed him up,
Abby
gave
comes
him
in,
2 pieces of
right,
biscuit.
right. So Abby comes in and causes all kinds of emotion. Jesse and Ellie come running out of the adjacent room. And as soon as Jesse opens the door, he unfortunately is slaughtered.
Yep. Took one right to the dome. That was a hell of a shot.
Hmm
So in the
And that was
video
right from the
game,
game to the
oh,
pose and everything. It was
okay,
like that
so he
whole
did
thing
die
was
in the
like,
game. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
just like that.
Okay. Oh, well, that's a shame. Is there no so there's no way in the game that I think I asked y'all this that you can change the fate of the characters. There's no
No,
way that he
no,
was
there's
Oh, you
no
gonna
mean like a
changing of
choose
nothing.
your own adventure? No, it's
yeah.
like
This ain't it.
it's a
No,
linear
this
thing,
ain't this ain't one of them.
part of the story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All
I
right.
told you it was
So
dark. I told you this game or this show was dark. Okay. Ain't no happy endings around him. All right. It's a wrap.
yeah, but I mean they could have at least had him hang around until after the baby was born and then like, you know.
See, there you go again. You trying to rewrite. You trying to rewrite the story. You trying to make it what you want. That
Just
that
had a
ain't how it
baby.
go. Right? The directors made something. Matter of fact, they already made the game. They're just copying it and telling it on screen. That's it. It don't go the way people want it to go. It go the way they want it to go because they made the story. Right? So that's the
Right,
end
but
of that.
right, but they okay.
What? What?
They did say that they were going to track closely to the actual video game. So if that's the case, I was going to say they could kind of like make it a little bit of what the viewers want in it a little bit, but I guess if they're going to track closely to the video game then that's not going to happen, but
There is a reason for the way that everything is going. Right? There's like Joel, they showed his father and how his
right,
father treated him and
right,
how Joel was inevitably trying to protect Ellie, but in doing so, he lied to her. So
right,
he lost her by lying to her, trying to do the thing that he wanted trying to do the thing, trying to protect her. He did the one thing that pushed her away,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
So he messed that up. Ellie's doing the exact same thing,
Right.
only she's doing it by chasing the memory of Joel. Right?
Hmm.
She is risking not just her not just Jesse or her girlfriend or the baby, but everyone who lives at Jackson.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah,
So
everybody.
she does not understand the weight in what she is doing. She's just reacting because she loved Joel. She's being
Hmm.
selfish,
Hmm.
right? Just like when she wanted to come from around that bookshelf and go attack six armed soldiers.
Right.
You got a pistol with six
Right.
shots at best.
Right. Right.
And she's just crazy. Like she had no idea what that outcome would be. I mean, it's just foolish.
But
And that's the child part of her that Joel was trying to reach, right? She doesn't know. She's
right.
young and
Right.
immature.
Well, it's young and immature, and again, what I said last week, it is the she didn't have the before time life, right? So a lot of everything that she's experienced has been what has happened since this whole thing has broken out, and she's always had the fireflies making sure that she was safe until they tried to get her to the surgery, but then Joel intervened, making sure that she was safe. So she never had to literally grow up. She never had to fend on her. She wants to fend on her own, but she does not properly know how to. She's not tactical, I guess maybe might be the best way in saying it. She's not. What's funny?
Abby's tactical.
Right. Right. Yeah, very tactical. But I think that's the thing. Like Ellie just wants to go straight at it and not have any deviation, not have to think it through, not have to consider consequences and all that stuff. Like she's just let's get it, let's get it done. It is what it is. I'm the, you know,
Would would you if you were Joel, would you and I want to know from the comment section too, y'all let me know what you have done. Would you have sacrificed Ellie? Would
no.
you have given up someone that you have grown to love
Mm-mm.
to save people
No.
you don't know?
He never would have been able to do that, not only because he she became his daughter that he lost. So now he's looking at it as if it's a second opportunity to protect the daughter that
Right,
was killed
right.
initially. So no, there's no way that he would have done it, and if I were in his shoes, there's no way in hell I would have been able to do it either.
What about you,
Yeah, it
Smoke?
was like, Chris nailed it right on the head. It was like that was his, like, he couldn't save his original daughter, closed himself off, didn't really want to deal with this kid because he didn't want to deal with another little girl at all. Then he got attached to her and saw his opportunity when he found out what they were going to do. It wasn't just like a simple blood test, they was going to drain it all and end up killing her, and he was not going to let that happen. So
Right.
yeah, like in Joel's situation, I was like, no, he was going to save that girl and everything, and do what he did. It's like the only difference I would like to hope that I would have made is telling her the truth of what was going on
Yeah.
and why I did what I did and not lying to her.
But I think maybe he didn't tell her the truth initially is because he's looking at her as her age, right? So can she handle it? Is that something that you tell a child that's her age, potentially too fragile to
And
deal with it, things of that nature?
well, probably in the situations that we had just gone through with the fungus monsters and the crazy folks and everything else, I'm telling her the truth because, like, if you can't handle me telling you, hey, I killed a whole building of people to get you out because they was going to kill you to get that cure, and I view you as my daughter, and I'm sorry, I was not willing to sacrifice you for that. then we could have dealt with that of her being mad. Hey, I would have chose that, and I was like, hey, you look, but I was not okay with it, and that's why I saved you. So eat
Okay.
ice cream and deal with it. But you still alive, so go ahead. So because
Oh,
there's also no guarantee that that cure would have worked.
right.
So they could have killed you for nothing, and then what am I supposed to do? So no.
Well,
So like if he was honest with her, I think that that would have been the one difference. But other than that, it's like him saving her. It's like I get it. It was like I get why he did it. I just think that
mm-hmm.
after you saved her and she asked a question, you should have just been honest and tell her the truth.
All right. Well, Smitty,
Frank
would you have? Go
Frank
ahead.
real quick. Frank is just waking up. He's
Hey,
joining
Frank
the
and Frank.
stream. He says, "Good morning, just tuned in." I was actually consistently annoyed from the very first scene where Ellie and Dina ignore the patrol leader. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And for
Mm-hmm.
fun. Yeah. And just
Yeah.
loud talking in every building.
Yep.
What you doing to do today, Dina? Just talking about anything. Any old thing. Like there ain't no infected around. Just talking about whatever. So yeah, I agree with you 100%.
mm-hmm.
100%. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
this is how real people would act, right? Because you would have to. It would take an act of God to get me off of Jackson. Paul, you're on patrol. My ass. I ain't leaving here. I'm not leaving here. If you want me to cook something, right? I can cook something. You got some berries but inside the base. I'll do that. But I'm not leaving the base for nothing. Did you see them? Did you see them people? Huh? Did you
But
see
remember,
that
she was
that fat
begging.
thing? Huh? They,
She
they
was,
took fire to the face. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving.
but that
I'm not
came
leaving.
inside. First of all, that came inside. But secondly, she was begging to leave and go on patrol. She wanted to do it.
Good. She can take my spot. Hurry back, Ellie. Hurry back. Hurry back, Ellie. Do big things.
Oh
Um.
boy.
Yeah. So a lot of the viewership has dropped off from this
Mm-hmm.
show,
Mm-hmm.
and some of it was from Joel. But the other half was from people who did not like the direction the show was going in.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Fletch is one of those people.
Mm-hmm.
Fletch is a good friend of the show. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out what, if anybody in the comment section, it looked like Frank and Frank had a problem with the show.
Mm-hmm.
What was it specifically
In the zombie apocalypse. They'll be the first two
about
to die.
about this show that made you like turn it off? Like what was the thing? Right? I need to know. Chris,
Or
myself,
and
y'all
in
see
addition to that, what would can you be reclaimed as a viewer? Like what would bring you back as a viewer?
well, nothing. 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 It ain't gonna get no better. It's not getting any better from here. Right?
Well,
So
I think Frank and Frank, if Ellie and Dina were goners, they'd be happy.
yeah. Well,
You just have
I,
Tommy walking around. It's like, damn.
yeah. So
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I said, I'll be curious to see, like if like concrete reasons, like why or what it was. It was like staying away from. Oh, it was like the casting. It was like oh, you're not gonna get one-to-one casting, I don't think. And then thinking about it, if you were to cast somebody that had the build of Abby, like she had in the game, because even in the game, it was like when like her and Ellie kind of got into it. It was like I'm thinking it's like, that's a rib. Ooh, that's another rib. Ooh, that's a jaw. It's like you seeing her like built like some wrestler or something, and then you
Oh.
looking at Ellie. It was like this is not a fight. This is a slaughter. So I don't know if that's what something that they had in mind
Mm-hmm.
of casting this other
Make it
actress.
seem
I was
more
like, but I think
realistic.
it's just to make it seem more even. It
Okay.
was like because at some point, I guess they're going to get into a physical confrontation, and she was built like Abby was in the game. That's not a physical confrontation. That's just a freaking
A beat
like
down.
that's just yes, exactly. It's like a
Okay.
thorough one. So
so if you're
I
in the
would think
comment
that
section,
maybe some of that is there, but I don't know.
yeah. If you're in
Go
the
ahead.
comment section and you hate the show and you legit
Or
hate the
just
direction
dislike
of the
it. They don't have
show.
to hate it. My God. Go ahead.
Well, if you're not watching anymore and
There you
you
go.
like you were watching, you were interested, and you're not watching anymore, please, I want to know why. Please in the comment section let me know why. And while you're doing
I'm
that, go on
curious
like, share,
too.
subscribe, leave a like. It helps out the algorithm.
Yes.
And subscribe to our Discord. It is absolutely
Okay.
free. It doesn't cost you a cent.
Mm-hmm.
All we do is get on there and talk about our favorite movies all day. We talk like we talking with friends. That's
Mm-hmm.
it.
Right.
You write
Mm-hmm.
me,
It's
I'll
like,
write you back. Yeah. We
and
just
And
we'll
as
talk things. It don't
king,
matter.
the
as
second
king, I command
question,
you to like, share, subscribe, and join the Discord.
the second question, to follow up, I am curious if you can be reclaimed as a viewer. I really think that you can be, but if you could be, what would be that thing to bring you realistically? Like bringing Joel back's not going to happen, right? So something realistic that could potentially bring you back as a viewer for the show, right? So if you're not watching, let us know those two things. He said, "Oh, you got it up there. Okay, being queer or different in some other way shouldn't shield a character from endless stupidity just for the sake of the plot." Well,
You can
that's
read it
true.
out loud for everyone to hear.
Oh, Frank
You
and
know,
Frank said,
instead
"I
of reading
honestly don't
silently.
I honestly don't care about the whole wokeness thing in shows anymore, but being queer or different in some other way shouldn't shield a character from endless stupidity just for the sake of the plot." So there you go.
Yeah.
It looks
Much
like
respect to
Dennis in the
Frank.
comment.
Much respect to Frank. Real quick, I hate that goddamn word. I hate it. I hate it. I hate the word woke. I hate that shit.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
so tired of that. But it's not Frank's fault. I'm not blaming Frank or nothing. I know he's just using it to describe his feelings for the show. I get it.
Well,
Much respect
it's
for Frank. This is not
yeah,
directed towards him, but I
right.
hate the use of that word. I hate it.
Okay. All
Carry
right.
on.
Yeah, thanks. All right, moving on. Um, okay. So,
Yeah, Lisa Wright said for season 2, the characters are not compelling to her. Like she's not interested in them. It's like two young adult chicks wandering the apocalypse while two groups do atrocious things to each other. It's not as interesting, but she still watched. So it's like I think she's just watching to see where things go. It sounds like,
mhm.
and it's like, but she's not as I guess engrossed as she was in season 1.
Well, I'm guessing that because they broke it up, the second game into multiple seasons, and I think I did see somewhere where there is going to be a season 4. I could be wrong. But I'm guessing that with them breaking it up, and you both can tell me if just yes or no, you don't have to like go into detail, but I'm guessing that there'll be uh more involved scenes, more in depth, like more fighting, more war, something like that to go on between the different factions, especially since you still have this cult like group. I still don't understand what their purpose is, and I
What do
still
you mean?
cannot
Oh, you talking about
understand. Yeah,
the
I still cannot
cultists?
understand why they're fighting the other group.
So you ain't gonna know because they popped up in the game and I didn't know either. Right. I just had all I
Yeah,
had to
like
do was unalive them. That was it.
I'm
I
like
just
guessing
had
yeah,
to
it's for
like
unalive them.
resources or something like that, but yeah, I
no,
mean,
it's like they kind of mentioned it in the show and in the game. I think you have to find like news clippings or journals or something people left behind to
oh,
get more of it. But those
okay.
folks are more of a religious fanatic group that's like, oh, these spores and this fungus is taking people. This was all preordained, and you have to it's like you have to forego all of the modern trappings, which is
Mm-hmm.
why they carry around like hammers and just use bows and
Mm-hmm.
arrows and not guns and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
then they, are disemboweling folks just because like they feel that's the sin inside. That's the way to get the sin in you out. So it's
Oh,
not just
okay.
like,
Like
oh, it's like, here's a baptism. It's like, no, it's like you're a sinner, use these guns and these walkie-talkies and they're tools that should not be used. So, we're gonna just do a little cutting and let some air out and
Okay.
the sins will fall out and then
Okay.
you will now purified. It's like, yeah, but I
And
won't
dead. So,
that might unalive me if you do that. You'll be
right.
fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
So
All right.
yeah,
that's their whole thing. And then you got the military group that's just like any other paramilitary group that's just like, yeah. we're not dealing with this. So let's just get them out of here and get more order restored that our kind of order that we want. So
Gotcha.
that's the
Gotcha.
brass tacks of all of that, I think.
Okay.
Like I enjoy what Frank and Frank said, right? Because he was talking about the stupidity of a lot of their decisions, and he's not
Right.
wrong.
Yeah.
Like a lot of what they're doing doesn't make any sense,
Exactly. Yeah.
right? And if I was Dina, I'd have went home. I'd have been like, "Get your ass off me! I'm going. I'm leaving." He's
She
right.
said that for the most part. Yeah.
I don't understand what you're thinking. What you could possibly be thinking. It was just her and Dina. It was just her and Dina. They had a 30-06 and they had a Magnum, I think. That's
Yeah.
it. That's it. They were going up against an entire army of people, right? They even had time to see, oh, okay. They got Humvees and weapons and guns and holsters and all that stuff. We should probably go. They didn't make that decision.
Yeah.
They decided to
Like you,
stay, try to find Abby on the low,
right?
not get
It was
seen
like
by
you thought you was
monsters.
like, oh, we're just looking for a couple people and we'll find Abby. Then you said army, and instead of turning around, you was just
Yeah.
like, all right, let's keep going. It was
But I
like,
guess they
no,
figured Abby was able to do it. So why wouldn't they be able to do it? I mean, granted, they had like a handful more people, not many. But if they were able to sneak in, and theoretically that's what Abby and them were going to do, they were going to sneak into the village. So if they were able to sneak in, why wouldn't they be able to do something similar? Now, having said that, the group that they have, the military people that they have, that's a much larger group than the town, the little town that they're in.
WLA.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So all right. I think we have beat Last of Us to the bone. I think now we should move on to, let's do Duster, shall we?
Yep.
You go ahead, Casanova. Let's start with Duster. Duster, by the way,
right?
guys, is on HBO. If you're interested in, or HBO Max, if you're interested in watching.
Max.
Mhm.
So Duster is a show, as Chris said, on HBO Max. It's a period piece, so it takes place in the 70s. And 2 episodes have aired so far. Third episode is actually live now. But it's like essentially the show has built itself in these first 2 episodes as you have a guy, Jim Ellis, I think he is,
Mhm.
and he's pretty much a transporter courier for this guy with the Phoenix mob, which I did not think there was a mob in Phoenix. So it's like I would never put a mob in Phoenix, but hey, all right. So he's transporting stuff for this guy, and it opens with him transporting a heart, and the heart ends up being for the mob boss's son. And it's like, everything works out there. Then the second hero of the show is a woman, Nina. I can't remember her last name. She's a FBI agent.
Mhm.
And being a woman of color, there's a lot of, and just being a woman and a woman of color, it was like there is a lot of, let's see, it's a polite word of saying it, jerks that don't feel that she'll be able to do the job as an FBI agent, or just because she's a woman of color, she lacks capacity to be able to do stuff. And she is eager to kind of prove herself, but she also has a hidden agenda as you go on with the show. You find out
Mhm.
that she's had some run ins, her family's had some run ins with the mob boss, and she's looking to get information on him.
Mhm.
And the show, without giving a whole lot away because we're gonna really get into it. It was like those are the broad strokes of it. The
Mhm.
first episode ends with Jim finding out that his brother, who he thought was killed in an accident, may have actually been murdered.
Mhm.
And then he kind of becomes an informant with the Nina, the FBI agent, as an
Mhm.
informant to try and figure out who actually killed his brother. Was it an accident, or
Mhm.
was the guy that he's working for, that he has thought that he could grow to trust, responsible for killing his brother?
Right.
So that's broad strokes of episode one. Episode two, kind of off the beaten path a little bit. Some blue suede shoes by Elvis, and so that's the whole thing. It's like something that Chris couldn't deal with at the end of the second episode that she had a hard time with. But like so
Listen,
far, the season has been so far. The first 2 episodes have been kind of fun. It's kind of light. So it's like, it's not any kind of crazy governmental conspiracies or anything else. It's just more seems to be like an old school throwback type of show where it's like you have the overarching plot and then you'll have some stuff go on from episode to episode. But like
Okay.
so far, I'm all right with it.
Oh,
So
all
far, I'm
right.
all right.
Okay. Smitty.
If I'm being perfectly honest, um, I didn't know anything about Duster, right? We were trying to find another show to watch for this week to bring you, and Duster was suggested. So I was like, well, let me give Duster a watch, a look see, if you will. And I'm here to tell you, the first few minutes, just the slap in the face, just
You
a whole
stupid.
heaping, so, a whole heaping servant of just ah, racism. Just
You stupid.
here you go. Here it is, hot on this plate. Enjoy it. This just come right out the gate. Hey, J. Edgar Hoover said he didn't want Negroes, and I was like ah.
You
I don't feel right.
stupid.
I don't feel right watching this. I don't like this. So, yeah, it turned out to be a good show, right?
Mm.
But it is about a black woman who is trying to be an FBI agent in uh in the in the 50s, 60s,
60s.
60s,
70s.
in the 60s. Was it 70s? Probably was the 70s. She
Yes,
had an afro.
70s.
Yeah, you're probably right. It was 70s. It was 70s. So it is a good show. It's definitely worth a watch. You will see some stuff in this show that you definitely did not think that you were going to see. And I'm only on episode. Well, it's only on episode 2. I think the third episode came
It's
out 7
tonight.
minutes ago.
Yeah.
Came out 7 minutes ago. So it's definitely worth a watch. It is so far it's pretty good.
Hmm.
So I'm looking forward to episode 3.
Okay.
Let me know if in the comment section if y'all seen it, what y'all thought of it.
Saggy Star, just want to take another second. Thank you, girl.
Saggy, what you doing, man?
You are
Saggy,
just
we appreciate you, man. I
you're
appreciate
amazing.
you a lot,
Yeah.
Saggy. Thank you, Saggy, offering another
Zeki, your king
$5
thanks you.
to the crew. She's
You
amazing.
stupid.
She is absolutely amazing. Guess, Saggy, you doing this to be number one? You number one. You number one.
You
Everybody
number
else
one in
stop
my book,
typing. She
girl.
number
Yeah.
one. Let
She
Saggy
number
be number
let her
one.
be number one. Let her be number
Let
one.
Saggy be number one. Damn it, Saggy, you number
I,
one.
Um
Miss
Nina.
King, I tried, and then she didn't
um
appreciate it, so I had to take that spot
um I am not I'm not super like taken by this show yet. The first episode, I'm not gonna lie, towards the end I fell asleep on. Um I did. I mean, I know what happened, but I felt
You recommended it to me. You told me to watch it.
no.
What you mean you ain't it?
Excuse me, kind sir. I recommended 3 things and I said pick one. You picked it. So, but I saw it. I watched it. The second episode, listen, the reason why is because it has the usual tropes, right? They got the car, they got the fast car, and the guy obviously has to drive fast and he's swerving all over the place. Like who? So he's doing all these silly moves in the car, delivering people their money. He can't even be bothered to get out the car. He's got to swing the car around to the other guy's car. Like he's doing all this nonsense, right? Then you see in the series that he goes or whatever, and you think that he's doing some kind of illegal, well, it was illegal, but you thought it was an illegal substance. It ended up being a heart that he was getting for his boss, Ezra.
Still legal.
I said it was illegal. I said substance, though. I changed it to cheese. For his boss, Ezra, excuse me, played by Keith David, who is too doggone old to be playing this role. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Now, we move on to see episode 2. Episode 2 was cute or whatever. You had him, and now he's being blackmailed by the police officer that happened to see him in episode 1 signing a contract with the FBI agent saying that he would be a CI All right, fine. So now they got something on the police officer, which I will not say on this channel. Let's just say it has to do with minors, and we'll leave it at that. So now he's begging another uh group of people to go and handle him, and they go handle him, and then your person who's supposed to handle him was taken out by this old behind cop who was shot 25 times, and now at the end of the episode, now he's not dead. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's what I said. Some bitch took more bullets than 50, and he's
It's
still walking around. He's
ridiculous.
still doing his thing, and I was just like, wow, wow, he's loaded up, right? He was full of bullets. They shot him like 5 or 6 times, and he got on his radio and was like, "Officer down." No, no, no. There's no
Right.
way.
Well,
There's no way,
no.
sir, sir. No, put that down.
Right.
You've died. Okay,
Right.
you have passed
You
away.
have died.
You have passed away. You
Like he's
only
like, ah, I'm only mostly
But
dead.
wait a minute, Smitty. I want to point out to you that Nina said that Josh fits her criteria. Josh is the actor that plays Jim, the main character on the show, by the way. So,
criteria for what?
come on.
I was like,
God
I think
damn, Nina.
isn't Nina? Wasn't it
Is there
Nina
anybody
No,
on
that
this
and
wasn't
maybe
station
Nina. That was
Lisa
criteria
Lisa.
Wright?
That
that
was
you hate?
Lisa Rice. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Nina, is
So
there
Lisa Wright
anybody on
had that
anybody's
guy
show?
criteria, and Nina was like, "Yep, Josh fits her criteria." So
Wait a
like,
minute, Smitty. What were you
that's
saying?
the whole thing.
What what he gotta have, Nina? What does the guy gotta have? Just what does it take? A heartbeat and some blonde hair? What is going on here?
Hey.
Huh? First of all, his hair
Ugh.
bothers me. That his hair bothers me in every show he's been in. Because he was in Yellowstone, right? And his hair is just weird. It's just odd, right? It just
Oh,
won't.
that's right. He was in
It
Yellowstone. I forgot
won't
about that.
It,
just. It won't lay down. Like it looked like a cape. You know what I'm saying? It just stick out. It's just a problem for me. I don't get
Ugh.
it. So, what did you think about the character from uh actually the voice for Joe on Family Guy being Mr. Sunglasses,
yeah, I
who
know. I
was the
couldn't take him
amazing character.
seriously.
I'm
I could
always,
not
I
take him
couldn't
always
either.
happy to see
seriously.
Patrick.
I couldn't
I'm
take him
always happy to
seriously.
see Patrick Warburton. Always happy to see him. I wasn't expecting him, but it was like I definitely it's like, and then he played a silly enough character, or he played that character silly enough that it worked for me.
Well, I wasn't prepared. Smitty, go ahead. You can explain it to
No, I'm
our
just gonna
group.
apologize to Nina. I love Nina. I hope she didn't leave.
No, she's still there. She said she know
Yeah.
my tongue got to be sticking out too. um, but listen, you could go ahead and tell everybody how he was unfortunate, how he met his maker in the bowling alley.
So, he made a deal with
Jim,
I guess what's his name, Jimmy,
Jim, Jim.
and he had to get Elvis's blue suede shoes in order to get this cop off his back. He had to give them to this character, and this character's brother was his uh, uh, bodyguard.
Mhm.
And when they approached the cop to show him that he had child tendencies.
Nope. Minors, just keep moving.
I just said child's the same thing. Anyway,
Moving on.
after that, they had a shootout. It wasn't supposed to be that. He was just supposed to show him the pictures, and then the cop was supposed to stop doing what he was doing, but the cop pulled a gun, and they shot him. So they raised the price, or he raised the price because his brother got killed. So he gave him the blue suede shoes, and it wasn't enough. So they started fighting at the bowling alley, and his face, his head goes under the little railing where that comes down to get the bowling pins, and then it pushes the ones that you missed away. That goes down on his chest, and then the thing comes down, the little I don't know what it's called, but it's like a metal box under some hydraulic pressure, and it hits him right here and bangs out all of that.
Mm-hmm.
You can see all of his thoughts and his memories, right?
It's
Everything he was thinking about. You can see all of
you
that. It was
stupid.
all over
I'll
the
fix
bowling alley for everyone to see, and it was pretty gross, but
Mm-hmm.
it was definitely a surprise. I was not expecting that. I did not think it was this. I did not think this was that kind of show, but clearly it is. So, um, Yeah, yeah, it's pretty good. So
All right. Yeah, I was not expecting that because keep in mind this character Jim, um, as Casanova already explained, he is dealing with um I don't know if we'll just call it bad actors, right? He's dealing with mobsters or whatever. Um and so he has basically dedicated to some degree because I think he said that he's been working with him for at least I think it was like 16 years is what I thought I heard. Some teen years.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Um so and his character is supposed to be in his 30s. So basically half of his life he's been driving or working in some capacity for this guy. But because he was aware of the FBI trying to get Ezra, he was afraid of what was going to happen. So he tried to come up with a plan to beat it, and he was supposed to go work for another organization, which he has not shown up for. He has not shown up for work, which means he's already in trouble with them. So he's about to be in trouble with his current employer because he has turned to be a CI for them. He's in trouble with a potential employer because he hasn't shown up for work. He's killed this other guy. Like he's got quite a few things that are stacking up against him at the moment, and I'm curious to see in all of this silliness how he's going to get out of it. It seems like his father's going to play some kind of role in assisting him with this. Also, you have this young lady that um she keeps calling him uncle. I have a feeling that she's actually his daughter. um
They already established that. It's his daughter.
I well must have
Yeah,
been on the
it's like
part that I fell
they
asleep
have
on.
they have established that as his daughter. Yes.
Oh, okay. Smitty, what do you think?
I don't know. It's only episode 2. I can only give you what has happened up to episode 2. There's been some strange deaths, and the main actor's hair will not be brushed down. It refuses.
Okay.
There is a black woman in here who keeps getting reminded every second
Mm,
of this episode that she is not good enough, and that she's also black, and an FBI
she's good
agent,
enough.
And
and a
you
She's
woman.
have
good enough.
Owan, I think is his name. And he is also a minority in this. And
He's a
he
yeah, he's a Native American.
right. And she has come in to some degree. I don't want to really call her his savior, but she has helped him to see his worth because prior to her arrival, he was like their gopher, I guess, in the office. Like he really wasn't doing any cases, and they mistreated him, and he never. Go ahead, Casanova.
I was gonna say it's like for him being so nice and being like, kind of unnoticed in the office prior and now working with her, do you think it's possible that, or would it surprise you if later on in the show he was, turned out to be like an informant and working for Saxton or something like that? And he just planned them so he can just keep an eye on stuff.
Um,
Like, would it shock you?
no,
Is my question.
no.
It was like, would
Would
it
it
shock you?
would it
Yeah.
shock me? No, it wouldn't shock me. Do I think that that's the
Okay.
case? I don't think so. But no, it wouldn't shock
No, I don't think it is. I was just curious to
me.
like, with him being so nice and so
You just think
helpful
it's
and everything
something
else, if
fishy
all of
about
a
them.
sudden it's like, if he was like all of a sudden it turned out, hey, guess who I'm working for? I was like, would it come as shock or would it just been like, oh, all right then. So that's all. That's my question was about.
Well, we know right now based on the ending of episode 2, we know right now the death of Jim's brother. I think what is his name? James
I think
has
so.
something
I
some
got a naming
so
problem.
right. But that is up all the way up to people in DC. Like his case, the death of his brother, because his brother, keep in mind in this particular episode, you find out that the falsification of the record of what happened to his brother and how his death came about was done by the police force. And she starts asking questions of who actually worked the case. And at the end of the episode, the phone call is shown, and the phone call is with someone in DC because you see the Capitol in the background. So this is going to get deeper. I hope it gets more intense, and some of the silliness be cut out. Although I do like some silliness, but this cop should not still be alive. I'm sorry. It's just ridiculous. If you want to keep that plot going, let's figure out a different way to do it. Not with him, you know.
It's fine. Like he's still alive. It's fine.
It's
This happens
ridiculous.
all the time.
Talking about the
Ugh.
It's
sheriff.
like the desert heat keeping the blood in. It's all right. He's fine.
Whatever.
It's like he's totally fine.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
ahead, Smitty. What were you about to say?
Nothing. It's a really good show. I'm glad y'all made it a recommendation. Duster's not a bad show. I have to see where it goes from here on.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
not
like
I'm not
for
a fan. I'm not a fan of the races. Man. I'm tired of
I
every
don't
other
think that's
show.
going to be.
I'm tired of every other show just saying it. Like it's starting to become normalized, and I don't like it. I
Yeah,
don't like it.
I don't think that's going to be a highlight of the. I think they're just trying to really establish the temperature or the climate of the period that we're in is all. So
I know, but I'm just saying. Like they keep doing this. They keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh,
okay.
we're just talking about the time period. You know, I'm just like, all right, it's just a movie. That's fine.
All right.
Go ahead and do it.
All right.
So it's good. Give it a watch, but prepare yourself. You know,
Yes.
with
Yes.
anger and such.
All right. I'm gonna let Nina let her know that she can pop back in because we're gonna start talking about Mobland. So
Mobland.
yes. Now, this episode, keep in mind, guys, if you were under the impression that this was the season finale, it is not. There is one more episode due to come out. This episode, there was a lot going on in this episode, a lot. So, Smitty, why don't you get us started on the episode and the things that you know?
So you begin this episode with Harry talking to his brother. Oh, not his brother, but dealing with Conrad,
Mhm.
and Conrad starts to test Harry's loyalty, and I think Harry knows. Harry knows that his loyalty is going to be tested. He also knows that there's someone in the family who is a problem. I'm pretty sure he's worked out who that is, and while he's dealing with that, you have his you have the brother. What's his name?
The whose brother?
The
Kevin?
not Harry's brother, Kevin.
Uh-huh.
Kevin has found the cop that basically raped him when he was in a holding cell. I don't know where they were. I don't know where it was. Like they looked like they was in a gulag, right? But apparently,
Jesus.
apparently that's what he did.
it's just
He
in the basement.
yeah, he did some stuff with a nightstick that wasn't pleasant, and he found this guy as an old man, and he had to make a decision on what he was going to do. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the beginning. That's how this started off. I was very interested. I don't know. I mean, I know who's doing the writing, but this story is amazingly well written. Like it leaves you just hanging. You want more. Like this whole hour is over with, and you're like, you're looking at your watch because you're hoping that there's more, right? And then they just leave you hanging, waiting for next week. So, what y'all think of this episode?
It was good. It was like I was pleasantly surprised when I found out this was not the season finale because I was definitely like they left a lot of things hanging here. So it was cool. It was like Kevin actually pulling the trigger on that guard. Like I think the trigger was when that guard asked him, "Is like, oh, do you have any kids?" And I think that was
Mm-hmm.
all he
Yep.
needed. So it's like after him asking that, it was like that was a wrap for him. Otherwise, that guard probably would have got out of there with his life at that particular point. I am curious that whatever Conrad and Eddie's discussion was, it was like I'm
Mm-hmm.
curious if we're gonna flash back to see what was actually said, because
Mm-hmm.
Eddie did not look like whatever that conversation was, he did not take it well. So, and then on the other front, Maeve being Maeve, taking Harry's daughter out to the barn to look at horses
My
and telling
goodness.
her to say like, "Oh yeah, I see everything out here. I see all kinds of stuff. And you
Right.
stay away from Eddie, you piece of trash." And it was like I was like, "Oh my god." So like so that was cool. It was like it was definitely and um the meeting with Jaime or Jamie or whoever it was that Conrad
Mm-hmm.
had, and he
Mm-hmm.
still couldn't keep the slurs out of his face. And then
Mm-hmm.
basically Jimmy ignored him and then just talked to Harry. And all the stuff he said is like, yeah, I can see why you want to get out and why Cat wants you. So I
Oh,
was like, oh, that was fun.
okay.
So yeah, there's definitely a lot of balls in the air that they have that I'm happy. Like I was really happy to find out that there is one more season. There was one more episode left,
Mhm.
and just to see what happens with all of that, who the actual rat is in the family,
You know who the
whether
rat
that is the
is.
lawyer. Well, it's like whether it's Babe, whether it's the lawyer, because they left to
No.
kind of a couple of different things.
Bro,
So and
listen,
then
the rat is
and
Harry.
then
The rat is Harry, and then you finally find out that Conrad knows that May. Well, first of all, I am surprised Eddie gave Maeve up to Conrad. Okay, because Conrad sat at dinner and started losing his mind. He was like, "I'm tired of you doing this and that," and I was surprised that he even said anything to Maeve, especially at the dinner. So I'm surprised Eddie. Well, first of all, did I see right? Did I see Maeve put her hand on Eddie's leg
Yeah,
as if oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. What's up with that?
Okay.
What's up with
Okay.
that? What's going on there? Hey, what are you doing? I was like, what is happening here, man? Like, what? What is this? I'm uncomfortable. You know,
Right,
I'm
right,
uncomfortable.
right.
I didn't.
But it's good to see that Conrad at least knows what's going on, but I shouldn't have said we know who it is. You get the impression based on what Harry did with the police officer allowing her to walk out and set up Conrad with evidence that was planted. You get the impression it's either he is the rat, or because he is ready to go, as was hinted at during, I think it was this episode or the last one, saying that they understand why he's ready to go. There's something there because he killed that other guy, threw him over the edge, right? When he said you got a rat in your organization, but they never showed us the rest of that conversation. So was it
Right.
Harry trying to prevent the guy from opening his mouth and saying,
Yes.
right?
Exactly.
So Harry's the rat,
He
right?
can't trust him. Yeah. I just don't know how he got his ass from the car to over the edge on the parking garage. He even
Yeah,
had a gun. Like, how does that happen?
yeah,
I don't know
just
how he got. I
you
don't know
know.
how he got talked out of his pistol, but it's whatever. Uh, I don't know if this is an elaborate plan by Harry and Conrad.
For
Um,
what, Maeve?
no, to seed doubt with the police, with the
Richie?
other mob, yeah, with Richie. Maybe there's some sort of plan that's going on there. But I don't know why they would be playing this game when it's just them in the room, right? When it's just Harry and
Mm-hmm.
Conrad. So
Right.
I I don't know what the plan is. Maybe Harry's planning a takeover without Conrad, and they're both aware. Like, everybody's aware that Maeve is the problem.
Right.
So I I don't I don't understand Conrad though. He's the one person I don't get. I don't understand his motivations. I don't understand what the hell he's doing at all.
Who, Conrad?
Yeah,
He's just
he
trying to remain
knows.
relevant.
No,
He's Go ahead.
oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Maeve did tell him that. Maeve said, "You're old. You're getting a little long in the tooth. Basically you ain't shit no more." And
Right.
that this little boy right here is gonna take over. First of all, you ain't talking shit like my house. You gotta go. Pack your shit, Maeve. You gotta go. He ain't doing me like that. So I don't know. Y'all tell me before I go any further. Y'all tell me what you think.
Casanova, go ahead.
I'm not
Where
100
you are.
percent convinced that Harry is the mole yet. It was like
Really?
I'm not convinced because like yeah, because just the way with Jamie saying it's like you got a rat in your house. It was like if he because I think Jamie knows who the mole is. So why is he gonna tell Harry that you got a rat in your house and you need to take care of it
They
if
all
he
know it's
knew Harry
Maeve.
was the mole?
They
So
all
it's
know
like
it's Maeve.
I don't think Harry is the mole. I'm not convinced. Like I could see him being the mole, but I'm not convinced it's him.
So who else then? Who
Uh,
else then is? Do you think it's someone we haven't been
no, it
introduced
was
to,
like
or who else?
I think it's the lady lawyer that constantly brings up the guy that Conrad killed in the office. It
What are
was
you
like
talking
in
about?
the first episode. It's like I think it might be her because Harry also told her it's like, hey, I need to see you. And she did not look happy about that of being need to be seen the next morning or something like that. So I think it might be
Mm-hmm.
her. Could be a red herring, but it was like I think it might be her.
I'm
For the other
confused.
stuff, it was like I
Hold on.
laughed with when Maeve and Conrad pulled knives on each other at the dinner table. She broke a bottle. He pulled the steak knife.
Right.
And they heard the cops come in. And then it was just like, all right, settle down. Like, we're just going to have a nice family dinner now. It's all
Right.
right. It's just like let everything be, nice. And then they sing in Irish shanties when they go out to the police
Yeah,
cars back and
yeah,
forth to each other. I'm like,
yeah,
what are y'all doing? So,
yeah. What the
like,
shit?
that whole thing is just like, all right. And I don't know what Harry's end game is for letting Alice slash Nicola leave with the glass that's got Maeve's prints and Conrad Stogie in it. It was like because they're gonna try and set them up for she's gonna try and frame them for whatever, but it was like
For
Harry
a
being Harry. I think
murder.
he's 2 steps. Yeah, it's like I think he's 3 steps ahead of everybody else. So I
Hmm.
don't know whether he already know this ain't gonna work out or what's gonna happen with that. So it's like got a lot of stuff. It was like I've enjoyed the season immensely. I'll give it to Guy Ritchie is like, good job on this.
Hmm.
And and hopefully you get renewed for season 2 and I don't have to wait 4 years for that to come out.
Yeah.
So it's like I'd like to see where all of this ends up going.
Yeah. Really quick, Smitty, before just as an aside to Casanova's waiting. Um, um, there was a show called Taboo that came out a lifetime ago. I've been waiting for season 2. I know it's never going to happen again, but dang nabbit. Yeah, I don't want to have to wait forever for season 2 either. Although this is not Taboo had Harry, the main character. What's his real name?
Not telling.
Okay, great. He starred in it. It was on FX. So there you go. Anyway, go ahead, Smitty, with what you were gonna say.
Uh, okay. So somebody explain Conrad to me. And if you're in the comment section and you understand what Conrad is doing, please explain to me because I don't know. I don't
Hmm.
know. He knows ever since he made that excuse for Maeve, right? When they thought that there was that um Maeve was the one who had told about the head or something. I think it was something like that. And Conrad came to her her aide and said, "Oh, it wasn't Maeve." They had the entire family in the room. Oh, it definitely wasn't Maeve. It wasn't Maeve. And Maeve looked shocked, and he
Right.
was defending
Because
her.
Kevin, yeah, because Kevin was telling excuse me, Conrad that it was Maven. He didn't want to hear about it. Go ahead.
Well, he knew. He already knew.
Right.
He knew.
Hmm.
So he didn't need telling. So Harry knows, Kevin knows, Conrad knows, and he's known the entire time. Right now, your child is unalived by a
Hmm.
chainsaw, no
Hmm.
less. A chainsaw. And now he's still playing the game. Like he's still up until this episode, was acting like he didn't know that it was Maeve. Either that or he don't give a shit about his kid. One of the two things, both of these things can't be true, right? He did not do anything, and I know he knew Maeve had something to do with his kid. Even after he asked her for her phone, and she pressed him, and
Right,
she told him, I'm not. If I give you this phone, it's the last thing you ever get from me."
right.
Right? First of all, you can't you can't threaten anybody by not giving anybody any booty. Okay, Maeve? You can't do
I
that.
don't
Not at
think
this
that's
age.
what she was threatening with,
You can't do that at this age,
but
Maeve. You can't
but
do that.
I think so. That makes now twice that Conrad got punked that way because that's what Harry did this episode too. When he was asking him, and he was like, "What? You don't trust me anymore?" But the problem is, I think Conrad had an idea of Maeve's involvement and stuff. However, he didn't get confirmation until he went to Eddie's room and woke him up and was like, "We need to have a talk, bud." And then Eddie spilled the beans.
Yeah, Lisa told me to be nice. Listen, you saw it. You see it every week.
Stop.
You see her every week. You
Wait,
can't put
at the
that threat
beginning
out
of
there.
the series, you were saying that you,
Back in the day,
yeah.
so I'll tell everybody. I don't care. I don't care. I'll tell everybody. I do
Oh
not give a damn.
my
So
gosh.
back in the day, well, it wasn't back in the day. It was just like a few years ago. A few years ago, we was drinking, talking about who the hall pass would be, and I said,
And that's your hall pass. Damn shame.
I
Damn
said
shame.
she would be my hall pass because she in the commercials and stuff they made her look kind of good. Now she don't I'm not saying she not a nice old lady. I'm just saying, she look a little long in the tooth at this point. You
Maybe
know.
you just need to better understand what the definition of hall pass is and like its purpose because I feel like that's a waste.
Anyway, I don't understand where they're going with them singing, getting in police cars, and they're singing to each other like
That they're in
nothing has happened.
unity.
Like she did not, like she had nothing to do with their son's death, and their daughter's attempted
Uh-huh.
further. Yeah, that. And he's just smiling it off like it's nothing, and he's having a good time with her, and he's just laughing, getting in the back of a police car, and he's rolling out.
Okay, well the reason why they're doing it is because they have to pretend as if they have to pretend as if they don't care and have unity in what is about to happen in the on this legal front. He still can't be angry with her about what happened with the son if he's looking at potentially being locked up for life. Like the both of them have to try and figure out how to get out of this. So that's why.
Listen, listen. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Like
No,
two or
judge
three
him,
years ago.
y'all. Judge him
Don't two or
hard.
3 years ago. Helen
Judge
Mirren. She
him
was alright. You
hard,
know,
viciously.
she was alright. She wasn't bad. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying? She
nah,
wasn't bad.
bruh.
Um. What's that old woman's name who does like clothes and stuff? What's her name?
Clothes?
That white woman went to jail because she was insider trading. What was her name?
Oh, Martha Stewart? That's not
Martha
clothes. That's
Stewart. Martha
food.
Stewart. You know Snoop. You know Snoop did that, man.
No,
Huh?
no.
So let's
Mm-mm,
not act like
mm-mm,
it's
mm-mm.
weird. Okay?
Let's move.
Let's
Let's
not
move
act like
on. Let's
let's not act like it's weird. Helen Mirren was my
move.
hall pass. Okay? Yes.
Oh,
Helen Mirren was my hall pass. Okay?
bro.
So there it
Oh.
is.
That is
See?
terrible.
Nina said Martha Stewart looked good AF.
No, no. I think that she meant to put JK after that. Like,
Oh.
no,
No.
no.
Lisa, Nina said we listen and we judge. You can judge me. Huh? You can judge me. I can take it. That's fine. I hope my mom ain't watching. Mom, I'm just joking. Mostly.
After all of that, did you come up with that? Like a whole manga watch.
Yeah, mom about to text me because she be like, "What the hell's wrong with your brother?" Oh,
Anyway,
anyway, thank
yeah.
you.
Anyway, so yeah, I don't understand Conrad's motivations. Um, I don't get it. I don't know where he's coming from. I do, however, feel like Harry's going to take over. I think Harry's wife is still stupid.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't know what she's doing. Um, I I really like Harry's character because Harry does not exhibit the emotions that you would think you should have if you
Hmm.
are being arrested or if you find out that your daughter is messing around with the mob boss's ignorant, horrible son. Because
Grandson.
I would not have had those types of responses. You know,
Hmm.
I would have been a lot more verbal and angry
Okay.
with with my daughter had I found it. You doing what? Get your
Yeah,
fast
but
ass back upstairs in a second, dog.
but what do you do in that instance? Because I mean, while none of Eddie's family likes him, Maeve likes him. So if you do something to him, you know you're gonna
Like
have to pay the piper because Maeve's going to
No,
have
this gonna
him.
be another Joel and Ellie
if
situation. I'm
no
whooping his
if
ass. Mm,
ain't nobody like you in the fam, if nobody in the family like you, but Maeve does, that seems like a first line indicator that you're a terrible person.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I
I'd
don't
put
know.
hands on him. I put hands.
No.
I'd have put hands on him. My daughter, my
Right.
everything, my flower. No, no, you can't put your hands on my daughter, man. Expect to live, and you gonna talk trash. You gonna talk trash. You know what I
He
do for a
did.
living?
That was grimy what he did. He was all up in his face
That
talking smack.
was
Yeah.
that was crazy. Did he tell her? Did he? What did he say to him? Did he tell her how nice she was?
I don't
He said something messed up.
I don't remember. That was
I,
last
I
episode.
yeah, I had to yoke him up. Anyway, you get it. Like he's super disrespectful. I don't know how he's still alive. I don't know how Maeve is still alive. To be honest with you,
What do you mean you
I
don't know
don't
how
get
Maeve is still alive? Because of what she did to Richie?
Maeve is annoying. Like I
Yes,
don't
she is.
I don't even want Helen Mirren to be my hall pass anymore. I hate the character so bad.
You're
I
invoking
hate
the
it that
card from her
much.
because of me.
That's it. That's it. No more. No more, Helen. No more. You're terrible. Okay. Enough is enough. All right. So
Okay, so wait. So but what would have caused her to be, because of what happened with Richie, that whole transaction of her having someone plant the the thing under her vehicle in the driveway? Why are you surprised that she is still drawing breath?
she killed her son, and the family knows it. Conrad knows it. The daughter knows it, and she almost killed her. Uh,
Right.
she she tried to get um she almost got the family arrested for murder.
Okay, maybe you don't
Dirter.
quite
Dirter.
understand how this works, right? They are a, we'll call it a prestigious crime family or whatever. You have to save face. You can't like turn around and be, you have to save face, and everything that Conrad right now is doing is in an attempt to save face. So yes, he was slightly aware or thought that Maeve was involved in all these shady dealings and things like that. And I think he is aware that he was played in the very first episode when she got him to take out the attorney and all that jazz. But he has to save face. He can't look like he is has lost control. And right now, it's very clear that he has, but he can't look as if that's actually what's going on.
But he has. Do you understand what?
I said he has, but he can't look like it.
Do you understand what Maeve has done?
Yeah.
Do you
Yes, I'm
understand
watching
that
the same show.
she tried to get Conrad arrested? The lot of the family, the all this like almost all the sons and Harry arrested for murder, right? He tried to get him arrested for that, and that's not by accident. That's not by accident. She's making a power play. She's making a move, and
How
it's
did
a horrible
wait,
move
time. How did she try to get them arrested? How did
because
Maeve
the
go?
when Harry put the head in the casket, She told there was only you
Right,
remember there
right,
was
right,
only
right.
two people
Mm-hmm.
that knew, and she
Right,
was one of them. That's when
right,
Conrad defended her.
right.
So
But
I
could it
don't
have
know what
been?
her
But could
plan
it have
is.
been Harry? Could it have been Harry? Because remember, Harry did get pulled in right after that.
No,
Why not?
no, because I believe that that's when you found out that Eddie and Maeve were working together. I think that was the thing that made you figure out they were working together when
Okay.
she said, "Do you remember that scene
Yeah.
in the kitchen?"
Mm-hmm.
Am I dreaming that?
No, you're
Catching
right.
up
You're
with
right. You're right.
that's how it went, right? I think.
He just shook his head. Like, he
Okay. Did you not watch the show? You didn't watch the show, did you?
watched it.
Who, me? Watch it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Seen it. Seen all episodes
So,
except for the
but
one on Sunday.
I just feel like, I just feel like, um, it just comes down to Comrade still just trying to. You can't take out your wife. You take out your wife,
What?
and then what's going to happen? Then what's going to happen?
Mm. She fell down some stairs. Whoops.
She trying to take him out.
It's like she fell down some stairs, officer. She slipped on some tea. I don't know what it
Yeah.
was.
So,
Yeah.
but
All
It
these
you,
was like,
knives.
it's like
Talking
that's
about
it.
all these knives.
oh gosh. All right. Okay. I just feel like if you
What do you mean
take her
she
out, if you take her out, you are confirming to everyone that is looking at this hot mess while you're trying to make it not look like this hot mess. You're confirming to everyone that you have actually lost control.
Maeve is
Mm,
killing people. She's
I
killing
get
people.
it.
I
I
don't
I
get
know.
it.
understand
I
that.
Like,
get
I don't
it.
know if he killed Maeve, I don't know necessarily show that he lost any kind of control. It was like it would be more, all right, well, she's kind of a chaos demon right now. Then it's like,
Hmm.
took care of her, so she's no longer in the picture. So then things kind of settle down, and he goes on to find some other 20-year-old to be his new wife or whatever the hell it is. It was
Yeah.
like, I don't think him killing Maeve is going to show him as weak or nothing like that. It would just be like, oh, finally, you got your balls back and you did something. So it was like, I think it would be more that than anything else.
I don't know.
Oh,
I
Because I
think
I'm
think
it's.
that's
I
sorry.
the
think
It
it's.
wasn't.
unspoken thing.
It wasn't.
Go ahead,
It
Sam.
wasn't the. It wasn't the the head of the guy that Harry buried that
It,
that she ratted on. They were talking about the murder of uh the mob's
Richie's kid.
guys of Richie's son in the kitchen,
Tommy,
and
I
that's
think
when you
was
found
his
out that they
name.
were yeah that
Uh-huh.
she had planned this with Eddie
Hmm.
to do this to
Yeah.
set things in motion to set Harry up and to get Conrad out of the
Hmm.
way.
Hmm.
But again, for what? To what avail? What is she trying? What's the
Because
play?
she doesn't think she okay. So here's the thing. She doesn't think that he is being pushy or forceful enough because she's the one that wants to get into this new product, we'll say. And he was not trying to get into that new product until like this last or the last two episodes is when he had Harry set up the meetings to try and get that ball rolling. He didn't want to get into it to start with, remember? Because that's when the attorney was also killed, right? Because there was some going back and forth with that. So he didn't really want to get into this. Maeve is trying to get him to get into this field, but he's got loyalty to Maeve. And he can't look like he's lost control because remember, like you said earlier, when Kevin was like, Maeve did it, or I don't know how he referred to her. I'm going to say that he referred to her as Maeve. He said, Maeve didn't do it. I did it. So he's trying to put his stamp down or his foot down that I'm still in control. She's not just doing whatever. And again, he's got that loyalty to her. So, and that's probably, I would say, the loyalty to her is probably mostly the reason why he won't do anything because they've been riding for how long? And I'm going to guess that she's had his back all of this time until, you know, recent
Okay,
At his
events.
back.
I understand that. All right, well that leads me into the next part of the show, which I was like, why? And that is when Kevin catches up to his rapist at the
Offender.
hospital.
Jesus.
and gives him a ride back to his flat. Um, you can tell he was dealing with some demons. He didn't know if he should go through with this, if he should just let it go. But you can tell like this is a really deep scar for Kevin that he has to deal with,
Mm-hmm.
and he's fighting those demons, trying to figure out what should he do. Should he leave and not tell him who he is? Should he confront him and just tell him explain to him what he has done to him, what he has done to his life? And I think that was a pretty. Not only was it an emotional scene, but it was a very hilarious
What?
scene for me.
I
Yeah,
don't think it
I
was
thought
meant
that
to
was
be
funny.
funny.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh!
well,
Please
yeah,
explain.
yeah. Um, well, he explained to him what he had done, right, and how he made him feel, and the officer told him that he
Didn't
was
remember.
right. He didn't that he didn't remember much about what he had done, but he had found Jesus Christ, and he felt really, really bad. And then Kevin pulled the piece on him and
Mm-hmm.
aimed it at his face,
Mm-hmm.
and then he started crying, and he told him to get out. He just told him to leave, and I was like, wow, that's really big of Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
He took the high road, and then the old man felt bad for what he had done to Kevin, and he started to come back. Now, at which point, at which point, I was telling the guard, listen, Kevin still has a gun,
Right.
he's
Right.
unstable, and you did things to him. So if I were you, I would just take his advice and leave, right? I would go. I'm not trying to console Kevin, right? Just go. But he came back, and I was like, okay, so Kevin's gonna turn the page with this old man. He's gonna let bygones be bygones, and he's gonna work it out. Nope, nope, that is not how this went. Not at all. It did not go down like that.
Well, I think
That man,
he. Go ahead.
that man sat back down and asked Kevin if he had any kids, and Kevin looked at him square in the face and put one right between his eyes.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god.
I think it
I
was.
was like,
I think
Is
Jesus.
that
Kevin
the
was
part
pretty
that was funny?
ingenious.
Hold on. Is that the part that was supposed to be funny to you, Smitty?
Yeah, that was hilarious to me
Oh my
because he could
god.
have left. He could have left. He could have left. Right? He was like this in his chair. No, please, no, don't shoot. Right? And then he got up. He was allowed a second chance. He was given a second chance. Right? He was given a second chance. He said he had kids and everything. All you do is walk out. All you do is walk out. Go around back or something. Sit on the side of the house. Anything. Just wait for Kevin to
Mhm.
leave. He didn't do none of that. He
Well,
didn't
I
do
think the
none of that.
problem with that is because he said earlier in that scene this was not the first time this has happened to him. And he was able to talk the first gentleman who came for seeking the same type of revenge, talk him into going on, what was it, like a boat ride or something, or I don't know, some kind of vacation or something with them. And he was able to talk his way out of it. So I think that's what
No,
he thought was going to happen, what
no,
was going to happen here.
no, no. No, there's none of that. If I'm if I if I find you right, and after all these years you took a nightstand and jammed it up my bum, and I found you 20 years later, like we getting down. There's no redemption. There's none of that, right? There's no I'm sorry's. There's none of that. There's no I apologize. We you we I didn't you didn't spill my drink. You know what I'm saying? You didn't spill my drink. Like you took it in the shower
Oh, oh my
with a
god.
stick. You know? Does that sound violent? Because it
But
should. It
okay,
sounds.
so but if you're at his if if you're at his door, what else can be said? That's all that can be said. I'm not please y'all don't get me wrong. I am not excusing what was done or anything like that. I'm just saying there is nothing else that can be said.
What are you saying? Like, what would you do?
What do you mean what would I do?
What would you do? I'm sorry, did I confuse you? What
I
about
would
them
I,
words?
I would be just as angry. I would feel like I would most likely behave in the same way, but you're saying he can't say sorry. What else can he say?
Nothing.
What else?
Nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing.
Exactly.
Listen, I brought a nightstick. We can make
You
amends
stupid.
like that, But no, there's none of that. You got to go down. Nitaverse says, cue Anita Baker. I apologize.
No. We're not even going to.
Ugh.
No.
I will give it to Kevin for posing as an Uber. It was like that was pretty
Yeah, that
smart.
was pretty
I wouldn't have
cool.
thought he would have been that smart. It was like I thought he was gonna just go up and shoot that guy in the face while he was talking to his mom or something. But posing as an Uber was a pretty smart move.
Yeah.
This is also a safety moment for everybody else. Always check the license plates of your Ubers before you get into it. It was like the app tells you what the license plate of your Uber driver is. You might want to check that license plate before you hop into that Uber. So, but yeah, it was like Kevin, that guy was free. Then he asked about the kids, and then Kevin got
I mean,
cold, stone faced real quick, popped him one, and then that was it. And then hopefully he didn't just sit there and watch that guy bleed out and walk through the blood and everything else. Hopefully he just got up, got in the car, and rolled out.
I mean,
So,
you're right. You should check the picture of your Uber before you get in the car, right? Especially if you're a young lady and you're traveling by yourself. He was like an 80-year-old man with dementia who ain't got nothing. He didn't have to worry about nobody taking his shit. Ain't nobody finna take his. Ain't nobody finna take nothing from him, right? He just had a bad day. He just had one bad day. Now he with the Lord, right? Now he with the Lord. He ain't got to worry about that no more.
You stupid. Why? Stop it. All right.
So,
Go ahead.
all right. What are y'all watching? What are y'all watching? What is up this week? What are we watching? What's going on?
Well, I'm
um,
one.
so good.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
I'm just watching documentaries as I usually do. Like, what is with the what
I
is with
was
the
waiting for one of
eyes?
y'all.
No, I'm
No,
just
after you.
I
After
always
you.
watch
No, after you.
whatever.
I insist.
I'm just
Oh,
watching
she started talking.
documentaries
I was
and
like,
other junk. So, whatever.
You watching what?
There is documentaries and other stuff. There is a show on Netflix called Sirens. I watched it. It's pretty funny. It is pretty good. So if you guys are just up for like a cute show or whatever, I know I keep saying that about a lot of stuff that I watch, but it is a cute show. It's a pretty good show. So if you're up for it, go ahead and watch it. Like I said, it's on Netflix. So I think it just came out last week or something. That's it.
yeah. I was like, I'll be watching Murderbot probably tomorrow. I might watch Duster tonight. It's like I had been like the one friend of mine I suggested an anime for her and her kids to watch. They enjoyed it and asked for another suggestion. So I'm trying to decide on how I want to emotionally break them to suggest another one to them. So that's my whole
You're terrible. You are a terrible human. Murderbot
thing.
guys is good. That's on Apple if you are looking for something to watch with a little bit of cuteness or funny to it. So go ahead, Smitty.
Frank and Frank said, I am desperately waiting for the third season of Apple's Invasion. You and me both, Frank.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
and me both. I am
Mhm.
so looking forward to doing solo videos on Invasion. Again,
Yeah,
I cannot wait.
yeah.
I cannot wait. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I am also going to watch Dusk to Dawn. I might watch that tonight or tomorrow. Looking forward to that.
Hmm.
I thought Final Destination was out. The last Final Destination, I thought it was out uh, to rent. I could be wrong about that, but I thought it was
Hmm.
out. And I just finished Shadow and Bone, and
Hmm.
that was some bullshit. That ended
Hmm.
terribly.
No, now you see why it was canceled because I watched it when it originally came out and it was bad. I think they actually might be
It
bringing it
wasn't.
back.
It
I'm not
wasn't.
sure.
It
I'm not
wasn't
sure.
bad. It wasn't bad. It's just they never got to the goddamn point. They never
Nope.
got to the point. There was an assassin and a dude who was like really really smart. Was running like the thieves or whatever. They two
Hmm.
seasons. They
I
clearly
know.
in love with each other, and
Yep.
they never said it. They never said it to each other at all. They just like reached out and bit like touch fingers. Like, what are you doing later? Well, just say it. Just say it. Just say it. Just say the
Well,
words, right? Because I'm tired of watching this show. Just say the words, right? They just wouldn't do it. They would not do it. And then like powers would get spread around and people would die, and then it's just weird. It was so weird, and the way it ended was just horrible. So do not watch Shadow and Bone. If you
oh,
like disappointment,
wow.
if
That
you like
was
disappointment, go ahead and watch it because
vicious.
it's despicable. It's disgusting.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
just I'm just telling you right now.
Okay.
Um, that's about it. I don't have anything else
Mhm.
that's out right now.
All right.
I'm
Okay.
sorry I fired up. Right now. Was
I
no
mean, that
reason to
was
do that.
rather vicious, but okay.
I apologize.
All right.
Is there any what documentaries you watch on other than one you were just talking about? What else is out? Anything good?
Well, the one I was just talking about wasn't a documentary. I was watching I watched Pee Wee Herman as himself. That's on HBO Max. And I watched Sherry Papini. That's about the chick who claims she was abducted, but they found out that she wasn't. But in this, she's still trying to claim to some way that she was abducted, even though she did federal time for it. So pretty good.
You want to hear something crazy?
What's that? You could care less, I know.
My microphone just shook and I didn't touch it.
Oh. So are we having another earthquake?
No, it was the only thing in the room that shook
Oh, okay. Well,
like violently. It wasn't.
okay. Well, maybe we
Maybe it's
are,
Helen Mirren's coming to say
and
hi.
I'm sure I'm sure our viewers could care less about your microphone shaking.
About to get my black
Man.
ass out of this basement.
Oh.
It's like Helen Mirren
So
came to
I
say, "Hey, Smitty,
I
I heard you was
appreciate y'all hanging out
interested."
with us, man. It's been fun. Nope, that ain't it. I love y'all. I really appreciate y'all hanging out with us on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We got a lot going on, and plan on bringing you a lot more content. And yeah, just join the Discord, hang out with us, talk about your favorite movie. It's free. We don't charge anything at all. Nina and Saggy Star, I appreciate you guys,
Mm-hmm.
Frankfurter, or Frank. Appreciate you and everybody else that's in the comment section that I have forgotten. Ninaverse
Lisa
and
writes. Mm-hmm.
Lisa writes, yeah, all
Yep.
you guys.
You
So
guys are
thank you for
amazing.
joining
Yep.
us, and we'll see you guys soon. Be good to each other. I
Yep.
love y'all.
Cheers,
Holla.
guys.